Jalen Suggs is an absolute beast. He's a 5-star recruit for basketball and a 4-star recruit for football. But how did he get to where he is today? And today, I'm just here to explain to y'all his story. Being a 4 or 5-star athlete is a very prestigious honor, but being a 4 or 5-star athlete in 2 different sports, now that's rare and special talent. And for Jalen Suggs, he has done both of these things. However, he didn't just wake up on a random day and get labeled as a 4 or 5-star athlete. So what did his grind look like? And to get into that, you guys already know we gotta throw it all the way back to where things started. June 3rd, 2001. This is when this special athlete was born. He was born in St. Paul, Minnesota, and he started playing basketball as soon as he could walk. We have to give credit to his father though, because he drove him to many basketball camps at just the age of 7. And when he was just in 7th grade, he played in 3 games of junior varsity basketball. Shortly after, he then moved up to the varsity level as an 8th grader. Yes, that's right, an 8th grader. He averaged 17.5 points per game and over 4 steals and 4 assists each and every night. And did I emphasize it enough? This was an 8th grader. That is completely unreal and remarkable. So heading into his freshman year, even though he would just be a 9th grader, he had heavy expectations. For his freshman season, he put on an absolute show. He averaged 21.5 points per game. And if that wasn't enough for you, he also pitched in 8 rebounds and 5 assists. All of these stats were enough to lead his team to a state championship. With Jalen having arguably one of the best freshman seasons ever, he was named to the Max Preps Freshman All-American First Team. After this season, he really showed people that his 8th grade year wasn't a fluke. He's a rare talent. Now for his sophomore season, it was pretty much the same thing. His points per game did take a drop, but that's because teams really started to focus on him and double team him. With being double teamed, he still averaged 16 points per game, also adding 9.2 rebounds and 3.4 assists per game as well. So he basically averaged a double-double as a sophomore. And once again, he led his team to another state title. Jalen Suggs really started racking up the awards. He was named to the All-State First Team and the Max Prep Sophomore All-Second Team. So heading into his junior season, you guys already know the expectations were at the roof. And when expectations like that are put onto you, it's sometimes hard to answer because the only thing you can do is meet them. If you don't put on a show, it's labeled as a disappointment. With that being said, Jalen Suggs did not fold under pressure. For his junior season, this was a big year for him. But not only for basketball, for football as well. As a junior in basketball though, he averaged over 23 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and over 6 assists. Jalen Suggs is a guy that I would label as a stat stuffer because he did it all. And oh yeah, we can't forget to mention, he led his team to a 3rd straight championship. And here we go with all the awards again. He was named to the AP All-State First Team and also the Max Preps Junior All-American Third Team. But we don't stop there. Let's talk about his football season. As a junior, he led his team to a state championship. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, he was the quarterback of this team, so you know this guy played a heavy and key role for the team. And it's not like he just played football and he was a part of the team. He was balling out. Now let's head to his senior season. Well, there's really not too much to say. He dominated in basketball once again. His senior season, he averaged 23 points per game and over 7.5 rebounds and almost 4 steals per game. Unfortunately though for him and his team, the season was cut short because of the coronavirus. So he did not get to have an attempt at his 4th consecutive state title. He led his school to a 115 and 15 record during his career. And for his career, he scored 2,945 points. That's unreal. And he would have easily got over 3,000 if it wasn't for the coronavirus. And on the football field, he also brought that same competitive energy and led his team to another state championship. However, they did not win this championship, they finished as runner-ups. That's still impressive though. He was almost just as good at football, which is the crazy part. He passed for 2,213 yards and 25 touchdowns. If you didn't think that was impressive enough, he also ran for 978 yards and 12 touchdowns. And if that wasn't enough for you, he also played defensive back and picked off 9 passes and returned 2 for touchdowns. What can't this guy do? I know I'm getting really excited, but this guy is just that special, man. As a basketball player, he was labeled as a 5-star recruit. He had a scout grade of 96 on ESPN and was labeled as the 5th best player in his class. Which is pretty impressive, right? But in football, he was also a very high recruit. Some recruiting websites had him listed as a 4-star, but however, ESPN only had him listed as a 3-star. Either way, still really impressive. When it was all said and done, Jalen Suggs became the first athlete in Minnesota history to win the state Mr. Football and Mr. Basketball awards in the same season. I don't think you guys understand how remarkable that achievement is. Winning Mr. Basketball is insane enough, but winning Mr. Football too and doing it in the same year, there's just no words for it. So he had a pretty tough choice to make. Would he be a basketball player or a football player, or even both? He shut down those questions immediately though. On January 3rd in 2020, Jalen committed to play college basketball for Gonzaga. And this kind of came as a shock to some people. Gonzaga's good at basketball, do not get me wrong, but it's not a Duke or Kentucky. It's also not a place where the top players usually go. With that being said, he became the highest ranked recruit in the school's history. And Jalen Suggs was very close to playing professionally rather than playing in college. He went on to say, quote unquote, it was a very serious option. According to multiple reports, he actually talked with a lot of different professional teams, but he decided to stick with it and go to Gonzaga. And I think this is the right choice for him. I think he's really going to thrive at the next level. I mean, because this guy's a 6'5", 200-pound point guard. That's the ideal build. If he goes to college this 1 year and completely dominates, he could easily be the #1 overall pick the following year. I know this really don't make a difference, but after doing some more research, ESPN actually had him listed as a 4-star football player at one time. So I'm not really too sure why they dropped that 4-star, but it really doesn't matter. I really wish this guy could have went to a college and played football and basketball. I know they kind of run in together, but I think he could have made it work. It would have been really exciting to see because at the college level, we really haven't seen a very successful player do that yet. And I'm really not too sure if it will ever happen, but there's one thing for sure. This guy was our best chance and opportunity to see it. With that being said though, I do think Jalen Suggs is in the right and made the right decision. Playing another sport, it only increases your odds to get hurt, and as you guys know, you're more likely to get hurt in football than basketball. And also, if he's playing football, he really can't focus on basketball as much, so all around it just makes complete sense. Just from watching this guy play and everything he's done in his career and racking up all the achievements, I don't see how anyone could think he would disappoint in college. But hey, I guess that's just something we're going to have to wait and see and find out for ourselves. Jalen Suggs was a 4-star recruit in football and a 5-star recruit for basketball. However, he has chose to go on the basketball route, and it seems like the right pathway and choice for him. Or is it? But hey man, with all this being said, that's about gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. If you are new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family and hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.